Greetings, the after party. This is the after party or the hotel lobby if it's already after the after party. Hey, I'm wearing my Bitcoin shirt today because this is our first Bitcoin president. Lots of things happened. If you guys were with me, I did an 8-hour stream yesterday covering the entire thing. We knew who was going to win well before they declared it. After it was over, I tuned into Steve Lookner, Agenda Free TV. He still hadn't even called the race. He was like, AP hasn't called it yet. Why are you guys getting mad at me? It was like an hour after I'd finished the show and Fox had called it and Trump had already given his speech. He's like, hey, why are you blaming me? AP hasn't called the race. I don't know why they take so long to call everything. It was a huge victory for Donald Trump, but about what you would have expected if you were listening to the show. It's what I predicted. So, and not only did I predict it, I bet on it and have the receipts. I knew it looked like he was going to win. And, the media was, misleads people, whether it's intentionally or not. The media and the pollsters. I mean, everything was 50-50. Nate Silver was 50-50. 538 was 50-50. Things that are supposed to take into account how good polls are, etc. All of them came out wrong. One thing, though, that did come, there were national polls, though, that showed Trump ahead near the end. And then there were certain polls that were like, I think, Trafalgar. But yeah, if you're listening to this show, you were following the betting odds. The betting odds, it's interesting how much people will lean on that next time, considering the betting odds went way in favor of Trump before the election and then went almost all the way back to 50-50 before trending back up again. So Parody Bear says it's too big to rig. I have compilations of liberals losing it. I think I might have too many videos, to be honest. I don't know how much you want to see people having meltdowns or how many different kinds of meltdown you're open to, but I have them handy. And you're going to see some of them, at least some of them. A squirrel showed up. What Kamala called Trump and conceded, and she gave a speech. The speech was horrible, I thought. It didn't bring anything new. I was waiting to hear if there was going to be something unexpected or something. The speech was really not inspiring. We're going to keep fighting. I don't even know what that means. So she didn't stand for anything in particular except for abortion. That wasn't good enough. So I'll show you the various liberal pundits. It's amazing to me that there are many people who still are going to think that we're just racist, or that we're like people in other countries think we're just like racist, homicidal maniacs with guns, that they don't understand how we could possibly vote for Trump. But that's because what their media gives them and then the way they react to things. Our media said is a toss-up. Wasn't anything like a toss-up. He won the popular. He's going to win the popular vote by a margin, and of over 1%. I think he's like 4 points ahead right now in the popular vote. I can pull up the map. So things are going well for Trump. The stock market was up 1,000 points today. The stock market was up 1,000 points today. I can check in on it right now. Bitcoin is almost at 76,000. It broke through its all-time high right when it was pretty much determined that Trump was going to win. Bitcoin is currently at 75.4. Gold and silver really went down today quite a bit. I guess it's because I don't know what the trade is. Maybe people traded out of precious metals and into cryptocurrency, or they think there's not going to be as much inflation. I don't know how you could think that. There will be inflation, especially if he does the tariffs. People have to understand what tariffs are, because he's always misleading people. I don't understand. It is one of the weirdest things ever that Trump says that tariffs are a tax on another country. It's really weird. We pay the tax. Somebody in America pays the tax for importing something from overseas, and then it's passed on to the consumer. So prices will go up if we have tariffs on everything, for sure. And all the stuff at Walmart is from China. So, but he could counteract that by saying, okay, well, I'm going to be collecting these taxes through tariffs, and I'll tax you less, so you have more money in your pocket to buy the things that are now more expensive. But that's tariffs. We'll see if he does them. I'm still in favor of tariffs. I'm in favor of tariffs as a choice between income taxes and other kinds of taxes. A consumption tax, that's not crazy. If there's no income tax, and then you can decide how to spend the money, the extra money that's in your pocket from not paying income taxes. So as a choice between tariffs, and it makes sense if, you want to, especially for critical industries, like medicine and stuff, we should make a lot more of that here. I don't know if putting tariffs on medicine is a thing, but steel, certain industries we have to have first for national security reasons. So I'm pulling up all the clips. The Amish may have won this election in Pennsylvania. People are saying the view is melting down, so I'll show you that. People are saying everything is meltdown. I should have put meltdown. That seems to be what everybody's saying. Unhinged. Unhinged. Not part of this reality. Nuckfugget thinks silver and gold are down as a sign of lower inflation. Yeah, but inflation's not going to go down. He's not going to do anything to make inflation go down. So if that's the case, yeah, maybe it's because people are like, oh, wow, inflation's not going to be as bad. But the truth is, inflation's still going to be bad under Trump. Although it's already way lower than it was. So it's already at the rate it used to be at. But he's not going to do anything except maybe, maybe we'll produce more oil and gas prices will go down, and that helps with inflation. But otherwise, I can't think of any policies that he would implement that he's talked about that would reduce inflation. So I think silver and gold, for that reason, are still good investments. We will have inflation forever because we have to. Welcome to the show. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman, and I bring you the news, the real news. Yeah, that's right. I don't even think twice about it either. I just do it. So yeah, oh my God. The Dow Jones was up 15. I didn't think it was up this much, so I'm just kind of confused. Right now it's saying on my screen the Dow Jones was up 1,500 points. I don't know if I thought it was up 1,000 and something, but people are euphoric. Shows that business is happy with Trump. Oh, I got to close some tabs. I got issues. I got issues with my computer. It's supposed to be sharing my screen. There you go. Dow Jones, there it shows Dow Jones went up 1,500 points, 3.6%. Guillaume Monk says stuff was already cheaper at the store today. That's good. Small cap index up 6%. I don't know if that's real. That's what it says here. 6%. NASDAQ was up 500 points. I was listening. Yeah, I guess maybe it really was up that much. It's just outrageous. Tesla stock was up huge today. Elon Musk is basically going to be king of the world, kind of. So hopefully that's okay with everybody. But the last administration really didn't like Elon Musk. And now that he has somebody who likes him, he's going to be able to do everything he wants to with his self-driving cars, with his Starlink. Starlink is going to be, some people say Starlink might be the biggest subscription service in the history of mankind once it's all up and running. So Elon Musk, so yeah, his stock Tesla, I clicked on it. Everything's just running super slow. That's not even what shows on my screen, actually. Really interesting. Derek, you want to see the meltdowns? Okay, I'll give you some. It's frozen. I'm going to stop screen sharing. Come on. Come on, computer. I was going to show you how much Tesla was up. Bitcoin's up. Like I said, it's up almost. Well, I think right now it's like 8%. It was up almost 10%. Dogecoin's way up. Solana's way up. Sui, we're looking at too. Sui's doing really well. It was up a lot today. We believe in meme coins. Yeah, Tesla was up 15% today. That's what I was going to show you. Tesla stock up 15% today. Jeff Bezos came out and congratulated Donald Trump for winning. So people are saying there's not going to be as much of a resistance this time around from the powers that be. Oh man, I got so many clips today. I'm going to start playing stuff for you. Oh, I will tell you this. This is what everybody's talking about. People are saying, people are noticing that in this election, as compared to other elections that came before it, that the total number of votes each year is approximately the same, but for some reason in 2020, the total number of, there were 20 million more votes. I saw somebody else. I didn't share that tweet with myself. Other people posted the numbers. I think it's 129 million is, yeah, from the top of my head, it's like 129 million, but in 2020, for whatever reason, it was like 150. But every other year, 2016, 2012, it was about 130 million votes. And for some reason, and they're saying we had record turnout this time. So like liberals are posting about it. Supposedly they're wondering what happened. They don't understand how there could have been 20 million more votes last time if, like we were told, there was record turnout. So that is a head scratcher. Makes people think the election really was stolen. I saw a quote tweet where somebody said, "Oh, maybe we did really steal the election." Some Democrat, allegedly. What was I going to type in? I had a way to search for what I want to find. Don't know how to search for it. More votes. Well, I'll think of it. Elon Musk is in the house right now. I see that. Okay, let me start playing you guys some videos. So anyway, people are asking about that. What should I say? Popular vote. Let me see what comes up if you just type in popular vote for most popular tweets. Here, this is what people are showing here. Totally uniformly real and valid vote totals. So here are the vote totals through time. And it shows John Kerry in 2004 got 59 million. Obama 2008 got 69 million. This is just one side. Obama in 2012 got 66 million. 2016, Clinton got 66 million. 2020, Biden got 81.3 million votes. And then Harris got 66 million this time. So they're saying how Biden was seriously the most popular president ever. So it is a head scratcher. You could argue, oh, it's because Trump had been president. There was a lot of, don't know. Some people say they want to hear tears. All right, I'll give you some. I'll give you some of that since you tuned in for it. Thanks for joining me. Oh, make sure to visit our store, truthclothing.io. Here's one.
I'm sorry. No. Why? Why? Do you really hate me that bad? I'm sorry. No.
They think because Trump won that everybody hates black people and minorities are going to be unsafe now. Okay, I have more meltdowns. I have one set to music. And then I have more.
I'm terrified. Listen to me, Republicans. Listen. You are the people in history. They warned us about. They warned us about people like you. Pay attention. We're losing our democracy. Wake up. I'm terrified.
That's funny too. All right, let's see what else I have. Okay, I have somebody else melting down. People saying, let the salt flow. I didn't understand that. The salty tears. The salty tears. That's what we're talking about. I wonder why these celebrities are all trending. I better check up on it. Cher, Christina Applegate, and Rob Reiner are all trending. There must be something. I better look into those celebrities. All right, here's somebody melting down, as promised.
What is wrong with you? I can't do this anymore. I'm literally sick. I'm literally sick to my stomach. What has happened to America? What has happened to democracy? What has happened to freedom? I'm done. This is a message to anyone who follows me. If you voted for Trump, unfollow me and block me. If you didn't vote, unfollow me and block me. The fact that it's this close means I've lost all hope in the American people. Like, it should not be this close. Why would anyone vote for this person? He's so evil. He's so demented. Kamala's not perfect. We all know that. We all know that. She is not a convicted felon, rapist, crazy, fascist, dictator, psycho. What is wrong with you?
There you go. There's another person freaking out. I'm going to show you more. I found that tweet I was looking for. Here are some of the people having a discussion about the 20 million votes. How can we have had record turnout and 20 million fewer votes cast nationally? Nowhere there were 20 million fewer votes in 2020 with a massive $25 million surge in voter registration and record turnout. No way. Everybody's saying, I hope in the coming days someone is able to explain how we had a record turnout, but 18 million fewer votes in 2020. Both of those things can't be true. That's from Murder, She Wrote. She's a lefty. So interesting. People are having, it's because they're having a conspiracy theory about this election, I guess. What are Democrats going to do? What's her name's speech was really bad. I have more meltdowns. Don't you worry. Cassandra Fairbanks. Let's see. Here's some compilations of people crying. Vonderloo says your county had 86% turnout. That seems very high. Did they all vote for Trump? I'm done with you self-hating, disgusting, racist bitches. How are people racist? What are they going to say? It's a bunch of, apparently the urban vote really came out for Trump. He won everything. He won the cities, the suburbs, whatever. Me watching the election, realizing there's no hope for me, my body, and my future. Why do people post videos of themselves crying? Like genuinely crying? I would only do that if I was insane. If I was having like an episode. Here's more people. Oh, Tulsi is trending. Oh, I got to look at these trending topics. Okay, I might have to go away from this. These ones aren't that good. She didn't pick very good ones. Let's see what Tulsi is trending for. Heartfelt thanks and aloha to Trump for allowing me to play a small part in his victorious campaign. Oh, they say Thomas Massie has already been picked to head up the Department of Agriculture. So Thomas Massie apparently already has a place in the administration. I wonder what Tulsi's going to do. There's no way they can make her Secretary of State. It is my great hope the American people will loudly condemn any efforts by those who did everything they could to sabotage his previous presidency to try and do it again. Yeah, this one could be better. Let's see. Cher is trending. Wonder what she said. List of people who are supposed to be leaving the country. Oh, yeah. Alec Baldwin, Whoopi Goldberg. All these people said they'd leave the country. They're talking about Cher. Okay, got it. Christina Applegate. Let's see what she's trending for. Oh, she's real. Oh, wow. That's Christina Applegate now? Interesting. She's shutting down her fan account. She's saying these crazy tweets. My child is sobbing because her rights as a woman may be taken away. Why? And if you disagree, please unfollow me, she says. She's just another liberal having a meltdown. She's asking for people's phone number to call them. Yeah, she's losing it. I have Cenk Uygur kind of losing it. It's all reactions today. Reactions to the Trump win. Do you guys want to see how massive the win was? He won all 7 swing states. Popular vote. Cities, etc. I don't know what Democrats are going to do. Oh, this is a long clip of Cenk. Let's see if it's enjoyable.
These Democratic leaders are simpletons. They're servants of the donor class. So they go in there, they're like, oh, donor, give me money, please. And I made an ad. I'm Kamala Harris. I'm full of joy.
Hold on. Prague says, I think she's hot. I was on another stream when I said it to someone, was like, Tulsi is hot, as if I was insane. Tulsi is I call her mommy Tulsi. She is very attractive. And she has that silver streak. No, we like Tulsi. She is a very attractive person. She's gonna be great as our first female president. I guess they could make her, she could be vice president first. She's so young right now. She could be JD Vance's vice president. Although that would be a very young ticket. I don't know. It's just exciting to think of who could run next time. Like Elon Musk could run for president next time. Tucker Carlson. I mean, who knows? All right, let's see if this is good.
Okay, well, what did that get you? And they say, oh, Jake, you're too angry. Too angry? What? You think, does Donald Trump look like he's kind? Does he look like he's in a good mood? I mean, no, people want some sort of reaction from their politicians. They want them to represent them, to fight for them. But that has never occurred to a Democrat outside of Bernie Sanders, and probably we never will. So look, I have no interest in listening to a single Democratic politician ever again. They can go kiss my ass. They can do whatever they want. And we never listen to them anyway. And they hate us because we're right and they're wrong. They're always wrong. And they hate us for being right, okay? So, but they're not gonna learn. You have to beat them in a primary. That's your only hope. And so if you say it's super hard to beat them in a primary because of the lying sons of bitches on mainstream media who will smear you to no end, who will fight harder against progressives and populists than Republicans or Donald Trump or anyone else. Well, brothers and sisters, nobody said life was fair. So we got to go fight that mainstream media. We got to destroy that mainstream media that is filled with lies on top of lies about how the politicians are so honest and the donors have no control over policy. They have 100% control over policy. Everyone in mainstream media is a liar who goes, oh, well, here's a bill. Well, I'm not going to talk about the donors at all. I think they're having an ideological debate. Oh, look at that. The donor class won the ideological debate again, but I won't call them the donor class. I won't tell you that it's corporate Republicans and corporate Democrats that are playing.
Who cares? That's Cenk. He's having a meltdown. Sophisticated says he says this every election. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Some people are unhappy always, and they're always screaming from the rooftops. Nobody's going to listen to you, Cenk Uygur. The Democrats are an establishment party. They do what the establishment thinks. They thought they could call Donald Trump a fascist and that people would care. People just don't anymore. People just stop. They realized it wasn't true. They would watch Trump. And then there were the hoaxes. People were pretty upset about the hoaxes. Some liberals are upset about the hoaxes. People don't like just being lied to, especially when you're supposed to be the good ones. The fine people thing, I mean, that was crazy when Obama came out with that a few days before the election. I mean, how many times are they going to say something that's just a provable hoax, different than the Russia hoax? The Russia hoax, you can say, oh, there's a Russia hoax, and people are like, oh no, he had all these contacts with Russia. But the fine people hoax, I mean, that one's just black and white, cut and dry. So I have more people crying. Let's see.
We may not have rights tomorrow.
We may not have rights tomorrow.
I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
Anyone else having a meltdown? I don't know how to do this. Right now, I'm just not. I can't fucking deal with this shit right now. I am 48 years old and I have never experienced anything like this and never thought I would in this country.
What about 2016?
I'm so stressed.
Anyone?
I don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to get through the next couple days. We may not.
There's some crying libs. Compilation videos of crying libs. Here's some grandma that's not happy about it.
Him! I hate this dumbass who can't shut his little pie-hole asshole! I hate him! I hate
Pie hole asshole. People get mad. Old people, my dad. I wonder if my dad's upset. God, it just it won't affect him at all. There's a clip going around, but it's misleading. I'll play it for you. People love it. But I saw it fact checked. This is why you get misinformation.
So you asked, are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
So you asked, are there any places?
So anyway, people like this clip. They say they're playing it over and over again. But apparently it was fact checked on Twitter. That's why Twitter is good. But this one's not fact checked. Where it said that moments later he realized he had gone on the state level, not the county level, and then they went to the county level. She overperformed some places. She overperformed some places. I mean, that's impossible not to. They did better. They're the party of rich white people. That's the crazy thing. White people voted for them more than last time, and that's it. I think like old white people voted for Democrats more. So they've become the party of like old white people. Apparently a lot of them are saying racist things about Latinos now because Latinos are responsible for the vote. Apparently. But and then, on that topic, I'll give you this. People being racist. Here we go. Al Sharpton and Joe Scarborough saying that people were sexist because they didn't vote for Kamala?
And I just say really quickly, too, Democrats need to be mature and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men.
Mm-hmm.
It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. You know, the Democratic Party, I've always found when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, oh, white people don't like women and black people. No, it is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before. A lot of Hispanic voters have problems with black candidates.
Right.
A lot
and
of
with other Hispanics. You got some that don't like each other. And some of the most misogynist things I've heard going on this Get Out the Vote tour came from black men. I mean, misogynist things. So you're absolutely right. It's not simplistic. And we've got to have real honest conversations about it.
Real honest conversations.
Imagine that. You never listen to like rap music and think, oh, black people might sometimes be misogynist. But that's not the reason they didn't vote for her. They would have voted for her if she was somebody else. People can be misogynist when it's an annoying woman, like Kamala Harris. But they're not that way when the woman is not annoying. I wonder if Prop 33 passed in California. I haven't checked on the California stuff. That's the rent control. That would be bad if it passed. I'm going to click on it. Prop 33. No. Okay. No on rent control. That's good. Yes on 36. That's good. Okay. This person says it's right-wing bullshit. Yeah, I voted on a lot of this stuff. People voted no for the heightened minimum wage here too. That's crazy. It was kind of ridiculous. It was raising the minimum wage like $1, but the minimum wage is already almost $17 in California or something. It goes up with inflation automatically. So they wanted to raise it again. It already got raised. It was 15 and then it goes up with inflation every year. So it's like 16 or something. They wanted to raise it to 17. I guess that didn't pass. And then yes on 36, that was the tough on crime bill. So that passed. And then the rent control bill didn't pass. So that's why I voted. Prop 33 failed. So rent control, yeah, because people realize that rent control actually makes rent prices higher. Everywhere there's rent control, the people who have the rent control are happy, but everybody else still has to pay higher rent. There's less availability. So rent is too darn high. Pirate says, why do people pronounce misogyny massogeny? Massogeny? I don't know. You mean black people? Black people pronounce words wrong. It's like a cultural thing. They do it on purpose, ironically. You should know that. They just pronounce words wrong just to fuck with us, I think. They know how to say ask. Just ask them. They know how to say it. They just think it's funny. That's the answer. No, I don't know, Pirate. Since you're a black person, you could tell me. Was it Al Sharpton that said it misogyny? I'm just kidding. I know you guys like to make up words too sometimes, and names for that matter. But I think it's cool. It's a cool. It's neat. It's like Shakespearean. Let's see what else I have for you guys. Oh, got to show you an ad. Please visit our sponsor. Thanks. Wow, look at this. This is like a record audience. People came to see the tears, huh? You came to see the tears? Well, I showed them to you. I'll show you more stuff too. Check out our store, Truth Revolution Clothing. That's truthclothing.io. We went through great difficulty to design and then have printed merchandise. And we have it in stock. We order it, in bulk, and it's printed, screen printed, not like Teespring, where it's just digitally printed and won't last. It'll flake off. These all last. This shirt has been worn a number of times. My Bitcoin shirt, that's $5 right now, right here. Bitcoin shirt, and Bitcoin's at an all-time high, so it's not even embarrassing to wear it. Crypto Future, $5 shirt. Why are they so inexpensive? Well, we have them in stock. We need to sell them. We are clearing out the store. Some of this stuff is made in America. Freedom of voice, freedom of face. It's like $50 t-shirts for like $5 or $10. Check them out. Truthclothing.io. You're worried about inflation? Look, or I could say Trump sale. I should call it a Trump sale. Trump sale. And it's like inflation reduction sale. All of our products are marked down because Trump is president and things have just gotten cheaper. That's it. Our costs went down immediately overnight. Truthclothing.io, or follow the link in the description. Either one. Pundits who got it wrong. I already showed you. Yeah, I showed you enough liberal tears. Let me show you liberal pundits getting it wrong. Liberal pundits getting it wrong.
In my humble view, lights out.
Please welcome back the next president of the United States.
I think it's going to be a blowout, actually. I don't think it's going to be a close race. I think there are going to be those Republicans that just vote for Harris.
It'll be tied on Election Day, as always it will. The polls will be tied, and then he'll lose.
You call us trash? Oh, J.D. Vance, you just stepped up in a way that I've never seen in my political life, and I worked for Sarah Palin.
Then I would say take Harris over 270 electoral votes. Let these fools in these crypto markets do something. Let them drive the betting line into a favorable place and then take advantage of it. That's what I would do. I think she's going to win.
This month, you wrote Trump is toast. Do you stand behind that today?
Oh, even more so. I feel the same way that I felt a few weeks ago that Trump is toast.
He's weird looking. There you go. That's some pundits saying that it wasn't going to go that way. If you were listening to this show, you never heard that. You heard that it looked like he was going to win. Oh, I have more meltdowns. Okay, I'll show you that. I have tabs in no particular order. I just closed a tab that was the view. Let me find that. History. The view having a meltdown. Free impulse. What a corpse. Are you talking about Michael Moore? He does look. Is he the one you think it looks like a corpse? He does kind of, right? I was noticing the same thing. I was like, oh, he doesn't look very good. Here's the view having a meltdown. The post says this is the best thing you'll watch all day. I contend that the best thing you watch all day is the Lift the Veil show every day. Oh, the Clinton guy you're talking about. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Carville, James Carville. Yeah, he is an old corpse.
Was red.
Yeah.
It was pretty red last night.
I don't know. I'm profoundly disturbed. I think if you look at the New York Times this morning, the headline was America makes a perilous choice. I think that in 2016, we didn't know what we would get from a Trump administration, but we know now. And we know now that he will have almost unfettered power. And so I worry not about myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my
What?
father telling
What does
me
that
many,
mean?
many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that. So again,
What
I'm
state do you live
profoundly
in?
disturbed that the 14th
What rights
Amendment of
did
the
they take away?
Constitution did not prevent someone who participated in an insurrection from becoming president of the United States. I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off, because if you can be the president of the United States, then you should not be prevented from employment in this country. Because I remember
You're
applying
not
for my jobs
actually.
as a federal prosecutor, and there
You're
was
not prevented from employment because certain jobs you are though. Certain jobs that require like that you don't steal and stuff. I don't know. It's not that they are not allowed to hire you in most cases. They have a policy against it, or they don't want to hire a felon. But it's not because like you can hire a felon in most cases. Anyway, they know what Trump did. And anyway, those charges are going to get thrown out.
it's a box for convicted felons.
Well,
And so that box better be taken off. And I think our healthcare system is now at risk. I think
No fluoride for anyone.
Yeah, economists have made clear that
They think the no fluoride
he's
is
going
like a
to
dunk. I love how they think that he's going to take fluoride out of water. And people are like, yeah, that makes sense. Why do we have fluoride in water anyway? Why are we drinking something that's good for your teeth that you're supposed to spit out? And anyway, does anybody drink tap water anymore? Anyway, I was wondering that for like the fluoride thing. Does anyone even drink tap water? Do kids drink tap water? I was lucky. The house I lived in got well water, so I didn't have to get dosed with that stuff. So I didn't spend much time drinking city water or whatever that might be. But it is funny they said he's going to take fluoride out of water. How crazy is that? We need fluoride. I mean, RFK is going to fuck shit up. He's already tweeting about it. Oh, hold on. I lost something. Oh, here it is. He's already tweeting about it. He's like, everybody needs to be on notice. RFK tweeted that today. He was like, FDA, corrupt FDA agents better be on notice.
to increase the debt by $7.75 trillion. I'm worried about mass deportation and internment camps. And I'm also worried about Elon Musk warning Americans to prepare for temporary hardship. I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful that a mixed race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country. And I think that it had nothing to do with policy.
Come on, computer. You can do it.
think this was a referendum of cultural resentment in this country.
Well, I think it.
Cultural resentment. Maybe the culture of
I think it has to
man.
do with a lot of things. That being one of them. I'm obviously very disappointed. I'm very sad. I was at the Kamala Harris headquarters yesterday in Washington, and it was a very sad scene. The mood turned immediately, and I tell you, there's a quote I get a lot of inspiration from, and it's a quote that I read when I was reading about John F. Kennedy, and it says, "Whether I am on the winning or the losing side is not the point with me. It is being on the side where my sympathies lie that matters." And that to me brought me a consolation and inspiration this morning, because
Wouldn't it be nice if they were like, there are what, 4 of them, right? 4 of these witches. And they all think the same thing. Wouldn't you think like it's time to get a different point of view on, since more than half the country voted for this guy, that we're saying it's like the end of the world now? I don't understand television to some extent. Like, do Trump voters not watch regular television? Do Trump voters just not watch The View. I don't know. I don't even know how TV works. Used to be like women would watch daytime TV at home while their husbands went out and worked. And that's like The View is for those kind of people. And there's talk shows like Sally Jesse Raphael and who's the famous one? You know what I'm talking about, Phil Donahue and so forth, Oprah. So these girls are on during the day, but they all think the same thing. I mean, to me, I'd think if I was a producer, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe we're wrong, assuming everybody thinks this, but maybe the ratings are fine. I mean, I guess if the ratings are still good and everything, then I guess it doesn't matter. But each one of them talks about, oh, it's cultural resentment, like white. But then how does it explain that people like you, like, what is she, Hispanic? If it's cultural resentment and the other girl's black, well, why did black people come out in record numbers for Donald Trump? If it's cultural resentment, people resent the trans stuff. They say the trans thing might have been a real sticking point.
I have no regrets.
Yep.
I worked hard as hell to elect the first Black Asian woman president. History slipped through our fingers again. I worked hard as hell for Donald Trump not to be president. But today, unlike Donald Trump and his followers, I acknowledge that he won. I hope for the best for our country. And I make a commitment to our LGBTQ, to our immigrants, to our elderly, to our young girls, to the women, that we will not stop fighting. We can be sad today.
Yeah.
Today we can be sad. Tomorrow.
The other thing is that there's a significant number of women who think Democrats actually hate women because they want men in women's spaces. That Democrats actually don't want to protect women, and that the Republican Party is the party that wants to protect women because they want men out of women's sports. So it's like a feeling. The Democrat Party is basically a feeling. Like, we're empathetic. We care about gay people. We care about minorities. That's basically what the Democrat Party has. And then when they lose, people are like, oh my God, people hate me because I'm gay or something. Like, everybody must be anti-gay to vote for Trump. Even though Trump loves gay people, I think. I mean, he dances to a gay anthem, every single thing, unironically. So I don't think he has any problem with gay people. But I'll show you guys some more stuff. Morning Joe already made a U-turn on the trans thing. Actually, since I'm talking about it, let's do the weave. I do the weave with my show. Here's Democrats on Morning Joe basically changing their position on men and women's sports, pretty much. So let me play that.
The Washington Post, Matt Bai, writes in part, I do think the prosecutions fed a narrative of Trump as a victim. I also think Democrats dug themselves into a hole on cultural issues and identity politics. Trump's vicious transgender ad in the closing weeks, she's for they, them, he's for you, was probably the most effective of the cycle. I think that probably landed with a lot of traditionally Democratic voters who feel like the party is consumed with the cultural issues, while the economic issues don't really change. I think people needed a reason to feel good and hopeful about voting for her. And absent that, a lot of frustrated voters apparently decided to go with the guy who wants to burn it all down.
Let's dig a little deeper, because you have that stacked on top of what happened on college campuses this fall, stacked on top of what's been happening on college campuses over the past 4 or 5 years. I have said this on the air, And every time I've said it, people said, oh, you're just saying that because you're a white conservative. No, I'm just saying it because every Democrat that we have ever sat down with dinner with over the past 5 years who have kids that go to colleges say their kids are afraid to speak in class because they'll be canceled. Let me say that again. And they're all Democrats. Everybody that we've had dinner with, if they have a kid in college, you go, how the Red Sox going? Yeah, fine. Yeah. Sitting there eating. Oh, beautiful day today, wasn't it? Yeah. My daughter at University of Virginia, she's afraid to raise her hand in class because if she says something that's politically incorrect, she will immediately be canceled. She'll be shunned from class. She'll be destroyed in social media by noon. So they just sit in class quiet. Now, if any of you, which camera? Give me a camera to look at. Boom! Oh, look at that one. If any of you out there say, oh, that's just like a conservative, white, Southern guy, da-da-da, that's where you're losing. That's why you're losing. Because that's what I heard. And I didn't hear it from Republicans. I didn't hear it from Trumpers. I heard it from Democrats over the past 3 or 4 years. Their kids were afraid to talk in class and say something unpopular because they would be canceled. And it's an epidemic. Willie will tell you it happens in New York City schools. It happens in colleges. And all of this adds up to people going, come on, this is crazy. And Mike, it's having an impact from, again, the trans ad to, the athletics. And by the way, as we've said on the show 1,000 times, Democrats should be smarter on the women's athletics thing. 85% of Americans oppose men transitioning after puberty and competing against women. And I'm not just saying this the day after the election. I've been saying this for years. This is not a hard call. You can show compassion and you can show grace. And as the Republican governor of Utah said, let's figure out a way to do this. But one way we don't do this is by allowing men who transition after puberty competing against young girls who have been working their entire lives to be as good as they can be. And then they get destroyed in the pool, on the track, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Weird if you hear him say that, right? He says he's been saying it for years. I don't know. I don't watch Morning Joe, so I don't know. There's a guy that used to be on Morning Joe, does his own show now, just in case you guys want to listen to like kind of semi-mainstream stuff that's not slanted. He has a show, Mark Halperin has a show called Two Way. That's like twice a day where they have people on from who are Trump supporters and Democrat supporters or neither. But this particular show is awfully left-wing. But there he says, so it sounds like maybe we're going to get men out of women's sports. That's good. Everybody agrees. So that's the beginning of the reckoning for Democrats. What have they, so there's always a thing like, right, what did you learn from this election? Can show you Jeff Bezos is out. People are saying that business leaders are not going to want to be part of the resistance this time. Jeff Bezos says, big congratulations to our 45th and now 47th president on an extraordinary political comeback and decisive victory. No nation has bigger opportunities. Wishing Donald Trump all success in leading and uniting the America we all love. So there you go. People are trolling him because he does own the Washington Post. All right. So the cases against Trump, let me see what I should play for you first. The cases against Trump are being dismissed. Let me play you this. This is supposedly a must listen. This is the Republican they have on CNN now.
This is a mandate. He's won the national popular vote for the first time for a Republican for the first time since 2004. This is a big deal. This isn't backing into the office. This is a mandate to do what you said you were going to do. get the economy working again for regular working class Americans, fix immigration, try to get crime under control, try to reduce the chaos in the world. This is a mandate from the American people to do that. I think I'm interpreting the results tonight as the revenge of just a regular old working class American, the anonymous American who has been crushed, insulted, condescended to. They're not garbage. They're not Nazis. They're just regular people who get up and go to work every day and are trying to make a better life for their kids. And they feel like they have been told to just shut up when they have complained about the things that are hurting them in their own lives. I also feel like this election, as we sit here and pour over this tonight, is something of an indictment of the political information complex. I mean, we've been sitting around here for the last couple of weeks, and the story that was portrayed was not true. I mean, we were told Puerto Rico was going to change the election. Liz Cheney, Nikki Haley voters, women lying to their husbands. Before that, it was Tim Walz and the camo hats. Night after night after night, we were told all these things and gimmicks were going to somehow push Harris over the line. And we were just ignoring the fundamentals. Inflation, people feeling like that they were barely able to tread water at best. That was the fundamentals of the election. And so I think that both parties should always look at the results of an election and figure out what went right and what went wrong. But I think for all of us who cover elections and talk about elections and do this on a day-to-day basis, we have to figure out how to understand, talk to, and listen to the half of the country that rose up tonight and said, we've had enough.
There you go. Buddha Girl says it's your favorite clip of the year. Good. There you go. Yeah. Well, that's what you hear when you hear people talking about Trump. I'll show you the results of the race here. And it looks like it's projected, or Republicans are projecting that they're going to control the House. They definitely control the Senate. So here's what it looks like right now. Trump at 295, but he's going to win Arizona and Nevada. So I think he said he was going to get to 315. So, which they say isn't a landslide, but he's ahead by 3% in the popular vote. So, and votes are still coming in from California probably. So he might not win by 3%, but more than 50% of the vote. More than 50%. Somebody won the election with more than 50%. Senate, GOP right now is 52 to 44 Democrats. There are still some races that haven't been called. Arizona, I think like Arizona, Nevada haven't been called yet. Pennsylvania, Maine. Looks like 52 to 44 right now in the Senate. So that's definitely going to be locked in. They say they're going to end up with 54, they think. And then House results right now, it's 205 to 190. But Republicans think they're going to get to like 220 or something. I think you have to get 218 to have a majority. So it's going to be narrow, but it's a big election for Republicans. Like, Republicans have a whole new thing after this. Now they can appeal to black voters, Hispanic voters, working class. It's kind of like working class generally. Okay. Do you want to see more? Oh, okay. I can play Jen Psaki going crazy over Donald Trump. Yeah, I'll play that for you. I have more liberal tiers too. Do you want to see that first? I'll play that for you. That's like an audience pleaser. No super chats yet. People gave me buy me a coffees yesterday because they don't take anything from it. So thanks for buying me a coffee. Some people send me money on Cash App too. That's cool. They don't take a big percentage at least. If you want to leave me a donation, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Thanks for everybody who supported the show last night. Last night's show was very successful. Cash App, $LTV411, buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Yeah, people did support the show. 8 hours. I keep doing that. It was an 8-hour stream. 8 hours I was on. Hoax Wars joined. Top Feed Coca. Okay. I said I have more liberal tiers, so let's see what this one is.
I will make it my life's mission, my dying wish, that none of you weirdos can hide in the future. You can't lie to your kids. You can't lie to your grandkids about, oh, it was so confusing. It was hard to see the truth. He was so convincing. I will not let you get away with that. Like, that was not normal. This is not normal. I will make it clear to everyone. Like, I will make sure no one is confused about how things were right now in this very vital, crucial time in American history, that it was not confusing. It was not confusing at all. You just stood for that. You stood with that and for that. Like, I can't emphasize enough, there will be nowhere to hide, and history is going to look back on this and look back on you in a very negative light. I will make it
There
my
you
life's
go.
mission, my dying wish.
It's
that
for you
none
if you
of
voted for Trump. How do people even know who you voted for? 20 million is trending. That's a popular topic today. 20 million fewer votes than last time, or 18 million, depending on who you listen to. People are starting to rethink this. People are wondering, what's the deal? Here's someone trying to shave their head. Oops. Audio. Sorry. Got to get audio for it. Jedi says, is Antifa? Antifa did riot a little, but they got shut down in Washington, in Seattle, I think. Antifa rioted a little bit.
Just woke up this morning feeling spicy.
Nothing
You guys
serious.
feel spicy? Because I do. All right. I don't know how to
She
use
can't
this thing.
shave.
Let's see what happens.
She's got a
Is this
guard on
cutting
there,
off hair?
I think,
I'm gonna have
that
to
doesn't.
shorten that. Does it down, right? I think that this is too. Oh, it's getting hair.
Oh.
Let's see here. Maybe I gotta cut it. Here we go. Have I given up on America? Yeah. I've also given up on coloring this hair because, right? Fuck coloring my hair. Fuck having my hair be long and luxurious. Fuck all that shit. Fuck being skinny. Fuck being hot. Fuck being all the things that the patriarchy wants us to be. Because clearly, they don't give a shit about us. And I'm talking to you too. Those of you ladies who have the internalized misogyny required to do what you did. Minorities who are so scared of a woman in power that you'd rather cozy up to the white man just in case some crumbs fall off his plate so that you may eat from them. Yes, scraps. I don't know how to work this thing, but I'm on my way. I'm going to figure it out. Let's just do some cutting. You know why? Because this is taking too long. Here we go. Short hair we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're cutting it off because fuck you. That's why. You think I'm crazy? Me too. Crazy. Just like all the women before me who were crazy. So fucking crazy. You know what? It's been a day. It's been a year. It's been 9 years, 8 years, whatever it may be. Around this time, 8 years ago, it's one of the worst times of my life. That's when my life fell apart. Not because of this. Don't get too excited. I'm just talking about regular life stuff I talk about on here. But trust me, I understand. I've heard the message loud and clear. We all have. Now women are going to have to just refuse to participate. Sorry, if you're a man, I will not be responding to you. If you are a man, I will not be talking to you. I am going to be promoting the 4B movement from here on out. Here.
4B movement.
Better scissors. My hair. Cutting it all off. Probably painting a target on my back here, but whatever. At least I live in a state right now that has some of our rights still. And we voted out Brandon Williams. Fuck that guy. Back to Texas. From whence he came. We also voted yes on Prop 1, which will codify into law some equal right protections in the New York State Constitution. So we did that at least. I don't know what the other fuckers are doing, but I don't know, man. We are embarrassing on the world stage. Oh, God. Oh.
All right, that's enough. That's very long. Very long. She couldn't work the shaver at all. She needs a man to help her. She could have used a man to help her shave her head. Probably that's something a man would be good at. That was more liberal tears. Here's the story about the Department of Justice dropping charges on Trump in advance of him actually even being president. So the cases against Trump are being dismissed. Show you that.
Yeah, Chris, it's not a surprise that these cases can't go forward when Donald Trump takes office. What's interesting here is that the DOJ is moving to end them even before he takes office, citing the long-standing DOJ policy that sitting presidents can't be prosecuted. And there was some thought that maybe Special Counsel Jack Smith was going to sprint through the finish line, was going to work up until the last day, force Trump to fire him, wait till a new attorney general was appointed. But that does not appear to be the thinking inside the department. The thinking is that these cases can't go forward. There's no reasonable prospect of getting to trial within the 3 months before Donald Trump takes office. These cases are mired in legal issues that would be appealed all the way to the Supreme Court had Donald Trump lost the election. So now that he's won the election, DOJ officials are thinking that, look, there's just no room to move in these cases. And so the sensible thing to do is to figure out a way to wind them down. And it may stem from Donald Trump's lawyers filing some kind of motion or making a request saying, in light of the DOJ policy, you need to drop these cases. Now, there are a few wrinkles here, one of which is that the classified documents case includes 2 other defendants who are not subject to that policy. And it's been dismissed, obviously, but that dismissal has been appealed. And the DOJ considers that ruling to be very bad law that it would like to be overturned. So that appeal may continue in some form. But the reality is that Donald Trump is not going to be a part of these cases. And what this means, I mean, we knew this, right? But just coming to grips with what this means intellectually is that Donald Trump is not likely to be held accountable on these very serious federal criminal charges that many people believe were worse than what Richard Nixon did or was accused of doing in Watergate. Now, there's no guarantee that Donald Trump would have been convicted
Many
at
people
trial,
believe.
but as Joyce Vance, our legal commentator, said to me this morning, what's not going to happen is he's not going to face a jury of his peers who would evaluate the evidence and render a verdict. It's going to be lost to history whether a jury would have found him guilty of these very serious crimes.
There you go. So that's the charges being dropped on him in advance. I have Elon Musk talking about how they got the Amish involved. He did the turnout the vote operation for Trump. I have, let's see. I'm pretty much out of tabs. It's good to see so many people tuned in. Glad you guys are here. It's almost the magic number where I can take phone calls. I always thought if it was over 140, that's good. But we might not risk it tonight. I have Jen Psaki melting down last night, but I don't know if people need to see that. I have the charges being dropped against. All right, we showed the liberal tears. Yeah, I think he showed you guys pretty much everything in about an hour. Sometimes it goes a little longer. The one thing is this time around, the margin of victory that Kamala had, even in the states she won, was so much less than what Biden did 4 years ago. It's really a sea change for Republicans. It is a change erection. All right, here's let me just give you Elon Musk, whose stock was up like 15, who's now like becoming even more wealthy because of supporting Trump.
Now,
and Dogecoin is pumping.
One of the things that we did do to kind of even the odds was we massively improved the Republican ground game, My America PAC. Massively improved the Republican ground game in the swing states. So the Democrats don't only have the best ground game, just in terms of knocking on doors, talking to people. Sounds simple. Just having a good sort of word of mouth virality campaign, having good messaging that appeals to people's specific interests. It just and then making sure people get to the polls. Just make sure that people have transport. The Democrats are normally extremely good with getting just making it convenient. Because for a lot of people, if they'll vote, it's just maybe they don't have a ride. You know? So we just made sure everyone had a ride. We made sure that we paid particular attention to the Amish community in Pennsylvania.
It's amazing.
Which is why
Had anyone ever gotten the Amish out to vote before?
Not in significant numbers. But the Democrats did make a mistake because there was government overreach.
Was smart
with some of the
in
Amish
the
farmers.
Amish.
Yes.
They're just, for them, there's no such thing as like organic farming or not organic. They're farmers. They've been farming the same way for a long time, and there was some, just government overreach that shut down some Amish farmers, which really, made them pretty upset. You just need to be able to channel that, the fact that they're upset, and like, well, there's a thing you can do about it, which is called voting, and we're happy to, transport you to. They're allowed to ride in vans, as long as they're not driving the van. So we're just making sure we bring them to the polls and they vote how they want to vote, which is going to be like 99.9%. Actually, call it 100.
Call it 100 at least.
Call it 100.
He said, these are
In
raw
favor
milk
of Trump.
producers.
Yeah.
So you endorse Trump with.
There you go. That was the genius move, getting the Amish involved. All right. That is literally every single. There was a squirrel spotted at the Kamala Harris rally. I can show you that. Always remember this: the sacrifice, the blood sacrifice of Peanut the squirrel, and his friend. I don't know his friend's name. Is it Rick the raccoon? I don't know the raccoon's name. Somebody in the chat maybe will tell me. Always remember. Oh, never forget. Maybe I'll make a shirt that says "Never Forget" with the picture of the squirrel with his cowboy hat on. Never forget Peanut. Do you guys want one of those from our t-shirt store? We haven't made a new t-shirt in a long time. The only thing that's inspired me has been Peanut the squirrel. Before Kamala did her concession speech, a squirrel came on the stage. Here, right there. There's a squirrel, which looks like Peanut. That's it. That's the clip. Squirrel showed up on stage at Howard. All right, you guys feeling good? Does anybody want to call in? I have almost the magic number of people tuned in, but I already took phone calls yesterday. I don't want to spoil it. Hopefully you guys are all happy. Trump won, if that was your thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I have for you guys today. That's the whole show. Believe it or not. So I'll see you guys at the next one. Thanks for the super chats. No, I didn't get any this time. But thanks for the donos. Thanks everybody who supported the stream yesterday. Freedom Rights USA, you want to see Jen Psaki's meltdown? Okay, I'll show it to you. I do have that clip. I have Jen Psaki's meltdown since you asked for it. That's the only clip I have left. I don't know how you knew. I'll show you that.
NBC News can now project that Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which means he is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president. And for so many of you watching right now, that news is, to say the least, a lot to digest. I understand that personally. After he lost 4 years ago, he refused to accept the outcome and incited a violent insurrection on our nation's capital. He's campaigned while facing criminal indictments related to his efforts to overturn the 2020 results, and he's run as a convicted felon. During this campaign, he has also promised to essentially be an authoritarian leader, to use power like no American president ever has before, and wield that power to go after his political enemies.
Like
this
the
is a man
video.
who's also bragged about overturning
Subscribe,
Roe v.
hit the
Wade
bell,
and stripping away
please.
women's bodily autonomy.
We have a big
He's
crowd
promised
today.
to conduct mass deportations to crack
Should I
down on
do
the
it again
rights of
tomorrow?
millions of Americans. Donald Trump is an anti-democratic
Like the video on your way
force,
out, please.
but he's just
Close
been
the chat and
elected
like the video.
democratically in our country.
Do it for your
and
do it for
here's what
yourself.
might be the hardest part to
I
hear,
mean,
but
if you
we
like
have to
it.
talk about and we
Some
have
people
to
like
say,
the
and it
show.
is a hard part to digest for all of us. But we have to be honest about what we saw in this election. Donald Trump was elected by expanding his support over a number of key groups that we've been digging into this night, all night tonight, as we anticipated where this was headed. And I know we're going to dig into it throughout the course of the day today. And there will be a lot of time spent on how and why he won and what this will mean for the country over the next 4 years and beyond. But in this moment, it's also important to remember that our democracy is not built around one person or one job. And I have every confidence that pro-democracy forces in this country will continue to stand up and make their voices heard. That's what we saw after 2016 as well. Some of those voices will be governors, some of them will be elected officials, some will be institutions and organizations standing up for rights and standing up for women's bodily autonomy and standing up for our climate. Some will be citizens. And many of you sitting at home right now digesting this news right now, some of them will be you. I wish I had better news for my daughter later this morning. I mean, I know Tim Miller and I were talking about this earlier when she and so many others wake up to this news. I wish I could have called her and told her that the first woman president had just been elected. I wish that. I won't be able to do that. But what I can do, what I can tell my daughter, and what I will tell my daughter, is that our roles as American citizens have never been more important than they are right now. I can tell her that there are still lots of good forces out there, forces for good in this country, and that they are going to be getting to work.
There you go. That was your Jen Psaki. I could give you guys more liberal tears. I don't know if I have any. I think I gave you guys pretty much everything. So we're going into a new age, space age. With Elon, Tulsi, the Super Friends or the Avengers, people are calling them. Elon, Tulsi, Rogan, Tucker, JD. A new age. So it's what QAnon promised, actually. All right, guys. I can't delay any longer. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate everybody who supports the show. Buy some t-shirts, buy some crypto. Buy some Bitcoin, then you can give me some later. You can give me, when it doubles in price, you can give me half. That's what you can do. Buy some Bitcoin. When it doubles, just give me half. That'll be fair, right? All right. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. For now, that's what it is.